Alright, gentlemen, in this video I'm going to show you the ultimate testosterone supplement stack and why you need to put these into your life. I've been using these every day for over a year now and my testosterone's absolutely skyrocketed and I've never felt better. Few disclaimers. The supplement brands I use, I am not affiliated with whatsoever. I use these because they are clean. The supplement brands on the supermarket shelves are actually safe for consumption. If you look at the ingredients of a vitamin C tub, you should see vitamin C as the ingredients. But now it's covered in all sorts of waxes and all sorts of crap that they basically use for the manufacturing purposes to make it cheaper and a lot less affected on the machines and stuff, basically. So my ideal suggestion is get some potent, clean vitamins. As you'll notice, these have all got clean on them, and these haven't, but the ingredients is literally magnesium. So it's about as clean as you can get, and it's more potent, so it does a lot better for you, and it's also a lot better for your health. The idea behind the supermarket brands is that they don't actually cure you. They just send you to the pharmacy where you're going to spend even more money. Another disclaimer. Don't expect these to work some sort of magic. These are amplifiers for an already very healthy lifestyle. So your healthy lifestyle is a very good foundation. This is the icing on the cake, basically. I'm going to say cherry on top, but it's the same. It's the same theory. All right, number one, vitamin D. Vitamin D3 and K2 to be exact. 10,000 IU. So vitamin D is that important, they actually class it as a hormone. So it does loads of things for you. It's very good for your immune system, it's very good for your mood, your bone density, and it's also a building block for testosterone. This is absolutely essential. If you've got low testosterone, you get your bloods done, chances are you'll probably have a deficiency in vitamin D as well. The K2 basically just says, the K2 is basically there to get the D3 where it needs to be in your body. And no matter what people tell you, 10,000 IU is absolutely fine. Especially if you live in the UK, where we get no sun anyway. So a lot of people, a lot of like random health advice will tell you don't use too much because you're going to overdose on it. Worst case scenario, right, you did overdose on it, and I think it mainly just come out in your urine. But I think you'd have to really go for it to do that, because I know people that have lived in Thailand and still took 25,000 IU, and they've been absolutely fine, and their levels been mid ground. So don't worry about having too much. You need good vitamin D levels, and if you have bad vitamin D levels, you're gonna have low test. It's as simple as that. Your mood's gonna be down, and your immune system's gonna be crap. Get that in check immediately. That's the most important one. Second one, zinc. This is required for testosterone synthesis, and it's especially good if you sweat a lot. It's also good for your immune system, and it also mixes well with magnesium, which I've not got onto just yet. It's good for your sperm quality and fertility, and it prevents aromatase. So aromatase is essentially when you've got too much testosterone or too much estrogen. Too much testosterone converts to estrogen, and that estrogen essentially goes to your tits, goes to your nipples. So that's why man boobs are a thing, because it's basically men that have got too much estrogen, i.e. beer drinkers. The idea of beer belly and stuff, they've all got man boobs, like not pecs, like actual man boobs. And that's also why women have tits as well, because it's just estrogen sits there. This will prevent the conversion from test to estrogen, so very important. Also, if you're deficient in zinc, this will tank your sex drive, your libido, however you pronounce it, and also your testosterone. So number 3 on the list, we have ashwagandha. You've probably heard about this one, probably been sold on TikTok shop or whatever. It's very important, but it's more of an indirect test booster. I'd say it's essential actually for high achievers. Any man who's trying to get anywhere in life, that's what ashwagandha is made for, because what it does is it lowers cortisol. So when cortisol's up, testosterone comes down. It's like the arch nemesis. You can't be stressful and produce testosterone. They can't coexist. This lowers your cortisol and it also lowers your cortisol, and it also reduces anxiety. Now, there's two uses for ashwagandha. You can either take it in the morning or at the night or in night time. So in the morning, you'll basically just be helping you stress. So a lot of people say there's like a bit of a side effect, which I don't get personally, but I know people that do. It feels like their life's on go mode, just like someone pressed play and they're just going through life with no emotion, which is a bit weird. Can't really imagine that. Must be a bit weird. However, if you're not very emotional, it means you get everything done and you're not very reactionary, so you could see it that point of view. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, to be honest with you. You also have to cycle ashwagandha every 3 months. Don't forget to do this, because every other supplement here you can just take constantly. Not ashwagandha. Cycle it every 3 months. 3 months on, 3 months off. I've known people, actually people from my area, that have got an ashwagandha and just not come off it. And basically, in this one specific case, I know it's very anecdotal, his skin convinced his body that he had a disease, and he were in hospital and he were in a big bad way with it. So just be careful with that. I don't think there's enough long-term studies to know that you can just do it all the time. So just cycle it on and off. You'll probably notice the difference a bit better that way anyway. Other than that, yeah, it boosts your libido and it decreases anxiety, it lowers your cortisol, and so yeah, it's a bit more of an indirect test booster, this one. Number 4, we've got Tonka Ali. Don't actually know that much about this one. I know it's a herb, and I know it's not cheap, but what it does do is it increases your free testosterone by lowering your SHBG, increases your libido and your sperm quality and your quality of erection, increases your mood of motivation, and what I will say is that the effects do vary from person to person. So if you don't feel it all straight away, varies from person to person. Similar with ashwagandha, some people say, like someone's pressed play on their life. Well, that's not the same with everyone. So what I will say though as well is, especially this one matters about the quality of the extracts. So if you're buying Tonka Ali off TikTok Shop, where it's got 500 ingredients in it, can't expect it to do that much. Whereas this is clean, potent stuff. This is the best of the best. And no, I'm not affiliated. I've just found obviously some pretty good gear. Then number 5, these are actually 2, but I'm going to put them together because it's technically 1. Work that one out. So we've got magnesium glycinate and magnesium glycinate and glycine. Together, these are actually called magnesium bisglycinate. Let's get into this then. So magnesium glycinate is the most bioavailable form of magnesium. It's the one that your body absorbs better and utilizes better. There's like 9 different types of magnesium. They all do different things. There's like magnesium citrate, which people call shitrate because it makes them shit. It's good for your digestion, but it's used in laxatives and stuff, so do with that what you will. Anyway, magnesium glycinate is very good for your sleep. So it supports your melatonin and therefore testosterone production. Sleep is the most important thing for testosterone. I went through this in my last video in the Ultimate Guide. If you haven't got your sleep dialed in, there is no point even trying to increase your testosterone, because that's where it's produced. So even if the rest of your life, well, that's actually going to be an incorrect statement. I'm going to say if you had a very poor lifestyle but you slept well, you still have decent testosterone. I don't think that's probably true. But it is the most important one. You've got to focus on your sleep. You've got to do everything in your power to increase your sleep quality, and I'm going to do a full video on how to increase your sleep quality because it's that important. So when you're asleep, you go through 3 different sleep cycles. You've got the light sleep, where you're just still, and then there's REM sleep, which is where your eyes twitch, called rapid eye movement. That's where the REM comes from. That's where you dream. That's good for your cognitive function. And then there's deep sleep. So it's called slow wave sleep. This is where your physical body repairs itself. So when you've been to the gym, that's where your muscles repair. Deep sleep is also where your testosterone is produced in your balls. So that cholesterol that you've had in the day is actually really good for you, because that is a precursor to testosterone. In your deep sleep cycles, that is when your cholesterol turns into testosterone. So you need to maximize as much deep sleep as you physically possibly can. And you do that by getting magnesium glycinate, and then by putting the cherry on top is glycine. This creates magnesium bisglycinate. You will be able to buy tablets of both of them, but I don't really know why I've got both. But there we go. Glycine is also amino acid, and it basically just amplifies this. Glycine basically amplifies magnesium bisglycinate, improves your sleep quality, gets you to sleep faster, keeps you asleep longer, calms your nervous system, and it's good for muscle repair and stuff. It's if you're going to prioritise your sleep, these are the only supplements you really need, to be honest. Honourable mention, I've not actually remembered it with me today, is creatine. Creatine is very good because it helps your gains in the gym, and it increases your DHT, I believe, which is like the close cousin to testosterone. So I've not bought it with me for some reason, but that's another one. Like I said, these are amplifiers to a very healthy lifestyle already. You can't just pick all these up and go, Elliot, why is my testosterone not increasing? Yeah, it's probably because you're sleeping crap. It's probably because you're eating ultra-processed food. You've probably got crap quality supplements, realistically. You've probably gone to Tesco and thought, well, I'm not listening to him, I'm going to get some crap supplements. You're probably not lifting heavy in the gym. You're probably not getting any sunlight. I'm not getting any sunlight. That's why you've got to take 10,000 IU potent vitamin D. So, long story short, that's your supplement stack. This will help increase your testosterone if you have an already healthy lifestyle. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Peace.